Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Captain of Industry. My name's Brave, and there's a lot of different things that I think we need to get done this episode. And one of those first things is redesigning our alternate fuel source of fuel. Yes, that made sense. Pretty much what I want to get redesigned on this is I want all of this to move around to where the stored crude oil that's coming in from the offshore lines is going to be actually properly coming in and being used, because currently right now it comes in and then it just kind of sits in these, and then trucks have to come get them, and then they go to this. So what I want to see is I want to get this guy emptied here, which I can easily probably just make a separate storage one over here or something, get them emptied, and then redesign how this whole fuel thing works and operates. And then I did also want to build new storage at the front, and then eventually I will get rid of these two, and then it'll just be these ones, so I don't have all this extra conveyor belts working, taking up my maintenance. So I want to start to streamline everything that we have around here to make everything look a lot better. So first we're going to redesign this so that it actually flows properly. And since we have two sides of these, which take 250, this only takes 60, so we could get two going on either side and running and flowing properly. And then we don't have all this extra weight of room around us. So yeah, let's get this redesigned and see how this works. Just a little bit of reconstruction going on in the iron logistical location. Looks like rock is being backed up, even though I have rock place storage. Where have you come from? It seems that I have found the culprit of why we have some vehicles just sitting around. So I think it's about that time that we make a slag dumping ramp. So all this is full as well. There's nowhere to dump, so they're going to go dump where they can. And then we need to figure out, I haven't even touched this yet. Well, kind of touched this. They're just dismantling everything right now. As we speak, things are going down. So once these are empty, then we can actually reorganize that. This is looking a little bit more reorganized. They are running to the point where they have nowhere to put their iron because this is just too optimized for them. So we'll have to also figure that out, but at least this is more optimized. We do have storage of copper and water. Eventually, we need to get rid of both of those. But right now, they're just going to sit full there. And as you can see, we have a very full amount of trucks. So what we might want to do, this is just going down because currently we don't have a way to get rid of slag. But that's going to change very, very shortly. We could also bring it out here and make another dump pile of slag, which slag is a very, I guess, expensive byproduct, or a lot of byproducts. So maybe we'll just dump it out over here. I decided against dumping it. I'm just going to let my trucks take care of it. I think this is now turned into the great race. Who's going to win? Them building a slag ramp, or him who's about halfway done harvesting his way up the side of this mountain? I am curious to see who will finish first. And this is the control tower that's there. So this is why this is filling up a lot. But it'll be interesting to see who finishes first up that mountain. And now we got our copper running again. Just after they took out the slag, it started functioning just fine again. We have hit a max capacity for our coal. So it might be time to look to get ourselves a proper dedicated coal setup so that they can keep harvesting and never really have to stop. But what we should probably do first is have them flatten out all this land around them, so I can build a proper coal setup, and that coal could go wherever it needs to go. And this slag just keeps piling up, doesn't it? But no, this looks a lot better. We're not using as many belts, and honestly our belts have stopped because we're just sitting on a surplus. So everything else is going to sit, which is great. So let's get this flattened out, and then hopefully this will be finito soon. Which they could honestly add it over here, but I think what I might even do is reconstruct the way that this gas station looks, and I might just put it down over here because it would make a little bit more sense than having it way up here. So I'm gonna get this gas station moved just over in this location. we're going to get these emptied, and we're going to flatten out this plot of land so that we can actually do a dedicated coal production so that we're not sharing this. Ah, now my people can get a transformer. So, oop, I hit the wrong button. So they can get some settlement power brought to them. So, which is going to increase my unity even more. So, I think it's under, yeah, it's right here. So, transformer. This will allow for my citizens to have even more nice things, which, potentially we should just put it down here. Oh, we could put it right there. Let's see. What does it look like when it's right there? My trucks are pretty busy, and I want to see what this looks like, so I'm just going to build it. See what happens. I wonder if they're going to have to go around, and this road is just going to be useless now. Yeah, they can't drive there, so that part of the road's useless. But I'm curious, and I'm sure you are too. So that's what it's going to look like. So what we could do is, now that we can't even drive on it, is remove that surface, and this is going to provide passive power. Electricity, 0.4. What does this need? Nothing from me, but we're going to start removing the road, and then that's going to allow for this to actually look like it's properly connected to the settlement, which looks good. And let's get to moving this fuel factor, or this fuel restationing station, and getting these emptied. Gave it some thought, decided that we should just at least do a slag dump so they don't have to come here so often. And I think that'll help out a lot. And then this is going to keep producing. Output is full. Oh, this isn't even hooked up. I was only using 1%. So if that goes there like that, then a flat connector goes there like that. I'll have to instantly build that because I can't access that. But this should allow for now double the amount to go into here, which then goes into there. And then this should actually fill it a lot quicker. And that means that we can make copper a lot quicker. Which now we'll see that this is probably going to go up quicker, which is what we want to see. That's all good stuff. Okay, back to flattening, emptying, and moving. And just to give everybody a quick update on the research tech tree, we're now working on first basic distillation, then biofuel, then finishing off with wheat farming and processing. Because what I'm hoping for is the basic distillation will just feed my settlement so I don't have to spend even more of my hard-earned resources, like my water, which is limited, on the settlement. I can just pull it from the ocean, and the ocean will do its thing. So that's the plan. And then this could be reverted to anywhere else in the settlement, anywhere else on the island, except for fueling the city. And as it normally goes, I get distracted, and I'm going to build something that is completely not what I probably need to be building, like moving, dumping, and flattening. But anyways, that's our tech tree. That's our plan with the basic distillation. And yeah, now let's get back to building this gas station. And I'll explain to you every single time how does it work, how is it running, and the beautification behind it. And we have added some more wood storage, but this time it's a little bit different because I was told before that this is a waste. Just let them put it in the end one, and then it'll just continuously push its way to the front. And it's more efficient that way because it just goes, and then it goes woof, right to the end. It's like a conveyor belt without conveyor belts. It works for me. It works wonderfully for all. So that's what we're going to do. Still waiting for this to be emptied. It's taking quite some time to get done. And we haven't even started leveling out the terrain. However, I did put in the queue for another truck and for 2 more excavators. Oh, there comes the truck. Now we're at a perfect 80 out of 110. Now these trucks will be worked on, and hopefully we can get some trucks. And also, if you're wondering and curious, yes, we will be using the heavy oil as fuel. So we'll be storing it somewhere around here. But also this ore sorting plant needs to be moved, so we have the most space physically possible for over here. And we also might need to redo our rubber idea, because it's a little bit too close for comfort. And I don't know if it's really going to work. Also, to cut down on costs, maybe what we should do, because these just take iron, maybe we should put our mechanical demand up and over here, and then they can take it over here once it's done, instead of having to take it from here, the iron factory, down to the constructor, over and across to the vehicle maintenance depot. It might cut down on some time. So that might be something to do in our near future. Also, maybe moving these up north would be best too. But we need to make a decision on if that makes sense or if that does not make sense for what we are trying to do. And for the longevity, because eventually we're going to want to make a beeline to the trains. But soon we can get large vehicles. Well, not soon. Quite far away. But you get what I'm trying to say. So anyways, yes, we're just going to keep kind of plugging away. And hopefully they empty this quickly. I was hoping that they would have done it over here. But they're not. So maybe we'll do that. And then maybe they'll go grab it from over there, because that's the only free one that I have. But now the gas station's over here. And I think it looks a lot better in this location than way over here. And I probably should have put the fuel storage right here behind it. Now that I'm thinking about it, should have done that. I think that would have looked a lot better. Would have left open more room to put in storage bins. But here we are. I could still technically put it back here if I wanted. Just go like that. But we'll play this by ear. This won't be played by ear. But other than that, we got to get all this other stuff moved. And my ship is coming back to drop off a bunch of crude oil. And hopefully we can get this set up and built soon. And once my excavator comes out and my other one comes out, we'll be building a mine control tower to flatten this land so we don't take away from the machinery that is bringing us in the oh so good coal. So we'll do that, get an ore thing set up to flatten, and hopefully move some more stuff quickly. And the great leveling has begun. Oops. There we go. So yeah, they're going to level out all this good land for me to eventually be able to use and to get some type of construction going. But right now, it's a far, far away dream. But it'll happen eventually. I'm not sure where they're going to put all the stuff that they mine. Maybe in some low spots and some high spots. But they're going to get rid of it. And that is all that I care about. And hopefully, eventually, we can make the entire map. Well, not maybe the entire map, but a good chunk of the map to look like this location, so that they have somewhere to put all of their processed material. Well, that doesn't make any sense, does it now, Brave? No, for them to drive on some land that will use less maintenance. Sir, you are like one block away from using less maintenance. You are just a rebellious little guy, aren't you? So hopefully they start to use the roads. I mean, I can make them use the roads if I had vehicle maintenance, which maybe we'll add to the queue next, because we do have distillation, and we should set that up for my residents so that they can use. And we need to get this housing underway, so let's unpause it so they can use it. Other than that, everything looks very steady and stable. But let's get that build, and then let's also remove this surface here. I don't think I need it no more. Let's remove that. Let's make it all nice and level, and then we can paint on some more lines, and eventually our concrete barriers will be put all down here, so they're forced to use this location and this road, so we can kind of trap them in here so they stop going off the beaten path. At least they'll use a little bit less maintenance and do some good stuff. Okay, yeah, everything's looking steady. Now let's get this basic distilling. I did finally get this removed. Something was happening where I think they might have been glitched out, so I had to use my Unity to tell them to get rid of it. And we also moved the sorter, and we built a dedicated coal sorter, and I did add one more storage to the front of that copper, so hopefully we can get some more copper. But eventually we might want to move even our basic assembly for those up to here, because then our wood's only over there, concrete's only over there, and then trucks have to drive far, far less with our good iron. So I might put our assemblers up here just to kind of put things a little bit closer together, and they might work out better that way. And then we can actually make larger storage for them as well. So this might need to move to here to open up room for more storage. But we'll figure that out in a little bit. Right now, what is time to focus on is building up this and storing our heavy oil and not burning it off, so we can actually use heavy oil for this cargo ship instead of using diesel, which diesel is, it's a limited quantity here. We're about to run low, so we need to find alternative sources that work. Okay, let's get going on that. Okay, we have got some sort of design going. So what's going to happen is our water and our coal feed these two boilers, which probably don't need two, but you know, it's expandable. Which I'm now looking at the... No, I have the setup right. Okay, and then it's going to feed into, and some of this spaghetti old wiring, these distiller stages, and the crude oil comes in and feeds the one that needs distiller crude oil, which is that one, and then it goes into this. So if I do need to expand it, this will just have to pop around really funky, but I can keep going in a linear pattern this way, and then I'll always build something bigger and better. So these boilers, I guess you call them, aren't going to be working too difficultly hard because they make a lot of steam, and this don't need too much steam. So I probably can just get away with just doing one, which I'll probably do. I'll probably just put this one operational, and I'll skip the other one, so I use less resources, less maintenance, and this functions better. So now it's time to get this thing built, and I think what we need to do here first is I need to get this smokestack built. Then all this can be built. I'm going to skip that one. So all that can be built. That's good. Build that, and then from here outward, we need to build all of this. And then all of this. Okay, so now we can let that get built up and operational. That should take some time to get everything going, but once it's ready, it will be ready to operate. And then this can run off of heavy oil because it should be pumping out this one. 12 heavy oil, which will be plenty. And then this one also does kick out the sour water where it needs to be. So hopefully that works out well, and this can just keep producing and fill up this storage, because eventually we're going to want to move this whole contraption somewhere else, maybe a little bit more inland, and then we can just dump it out there once we have the chance. When getting this inland for our rubber would be a better idea. Then it also opens up so I can have another cargo depot right here, and then potentially I might move my trading depot over to here once I can get that done. Looks like this excavator is going to be the winner, because not a lot of stuff is being dumped for slag, which they're actually keeping this fairly empty. The only thing that's going to go down now is my storage of construction parts, but again, that is just something that comes with building. It's going to deplete itself, and then once it's done, it'll raise itself back to normals. And what we really should do is probably have like 4 storages for construction, max those out, and then we know that we have enough. So with that being said, for construction storage, I think I'm going to bring it to be up here. So I would like to remove this and get it put behind itself, because if it's behind itself, then it's just better that way. So we'll build that there, and we'll tell it to build, and then we can move this, and then we can put our storage for construction parts in here, because we can get 2 with the middle piece still, to be perfect. And then we can put our assemblers on this side as well. I think everything would be better that way. So yeah, we'll do that. Still have to set up my town's distillation, but that's something that's not super pressing. This big old production chain is. So that's building that. That's doing that. It is blinking at me that, you know, this has no destination to dump. Not selecting sour water, so that's going to kick that out. Truck has no compatible mix for cargo. That has fallen, but that is fine. It looks like they have ran out of things to mine. You have indeed. But it looks like they're also getting blocked by this, so... let's take these away. Let them, you know, do their thing. I'm going to remove these two, the ones that are closer here. Get rid of them. They have a way to get in there. Not too sure. Oh, I guess they're just full of iron. That is fine. I do need to redesign this, or maybe I scoot this back, and then this has a way to have its own self buffers, but until then, this is the way it's going to be. So let's earmark this for emptying, and then let's tell this one to store diesel, and keep it at 180. Then hopefully this will go away quickly, because last time it did not. Let's do that. That's going to empty it. This guy is coming to pick it up. Hopefully with the plans to put it into there. No, sir, you're going to the wrong one. I'm going to say trucks cannot import. Maybe that'll stop you. It looks like it did. You're rethinking? Yes, you're putting it into the right one now. Okay. I just need to tell them that you're being dumb. Don't put it there. This is all running. I need to tell my trucks to keep at 160 and 160. That'll be good. That'll keep this from running low. And now this is all going to run because we had a good stockpile of crude. And hopefully we make lots and lots of heavy oil. So this bad boy can run on heavy oil instead of using my diesel. It's like it's making quite a bit. So this is very much expandable. Very good. And everything else looks very good as well, except for they're running low on things to do. And they're just working their way diligently, flattening the land. It is going to take them a while. A hot minute, some may say. But anyways, that's being built there. That's being built there. Let's work on our water distillation. So we put it right next to where we're dumping fluids out. I think that's a grand old idea. So let's get that built. Get them some water so that they can stop using my underground water supply, because reservoirs do run out, and this will slow the process. Okay, let's build that. Oh, goody goody. The fuel now looks kind of properly installed, and I'm putting down some more construction storage parts. So once everything kind of levels itself back up, these will now store 200, 400. So I'll have 800 storage here. I could even do more storage if I wanted to. I would like to move the fuel over by 1 just so I can kind of keep this nice flow going, but that is not something that is of complete concern because, you know, it's just not. I just feel like that would be just a waste. And now this does have 120 heavy fuel stored in it, and this is full of diesel. What I would like to have happen is that this does not stay. I want them to keep empty if above 60. I would like them to move around the diesel quickly because I do not want this to stay full. I want it to stay empty as much as I can, where we might want to build like an inland diesel storage. Like I know this is being used a lot, and all of them are hooked up, but... well, actually, this is currently not being used. It's just kind of sitting idle. And we have used officially over half of our storage of crude oil in the ground. But this will go fill up over there, so that's good. This will stay empty, and then they can keep producing heavy oil and diesel. Just need to find a way to store it. And maybe what we should do is get a storage Mark II, so we can actually store things a lot more. We're getting the vehicle management level 1. We do have the wheat farming and processing picked up. So now actually we can, on our plots, we can do wheat, which actually gives us 10.5% of fertility, or uses 10.5% of fertility. This creates natural replenishment. We can do vegetables, we can do trees, we can do wheat. And we can do a lot of fun stuff now. But wheat does require, if we look up here, food basics, does require a mill. The mill will make flour and animal feed, and the flour will turn with water into bread, which will give them another food source to love and enjoy instead of just potatoes. We've been filling them up with massive amounts of potatoes, for far too long, and I'm sure they're all pissed off now. So, what we should do is once we flatten out some of this land or some of this land, because I did tell them to flatten this out, as I do need a location where I can build this distiller. It does seem that, though, they are out of locations to build their ore assorting. So what I should do is I should build them their own dedicated ore storage plant. Maybe over around here where they're going to be dismantling and leveling a lot. So maybe we could actually put it right here, and this will just give them a place just for themselves to dump. So what we should do is dirt, rock, and I think that's all that we're going to need, because they shouldn't be picking up anything else. So dirt and that. We will set this for construction, and then we'll select their mine control tower, and we'll say to export to there, and hopefully that will be the place that they're allowed to dump consistently. Tree harvesters still don't have anywhere to cut down trees. We have way too much wood, in my personal opinion, but maybe my personal opinion is wrong, and maybe we don't have enough wood. What is my global change? Last month change +0. That's fine. So this is steadily increasing on me. So produced last month 241, global demand 261. Last month change is 0. So looks like we made more though when we needed to. So we might have to keep an eye on this, because we might need some more vehicle maintenance to be built, which is fine if we do. And yeah, take a look at the overview. Last month's change, we have used more than we can produce, which is not good. So we might want to set up a larger location for building mechanical maintenance parts. So I guess while they're flattening this out and creating that to be a flatter location, maybe I should set up another vehicle maintenance location. And it looks like we are still good. We are going down on food pretty steadily, so we might want to get another, which I did open up this beacon, just for a little bit more refugees. But actually, I'm going to pause it right where it's at. Maybe we should get some more crops so that we don't die from lack of food. And I don't know, can I copy, flip, F? Will one be able to go there? Some trees are in the way. So let's grab my tree cutters. They're harvesting nothing. Let's put them over here to harvest those trees. And they do still have space. Goody, goody. They didn't fill this fully up. Okay, so they're going to cut down those trees quickly. That'll allow me to place probably 1, hopefully 2. No, just the 1 can go in here once the trees are cut down. That's going to be at least better. I can put that there, but we will need to find more of a permanent location for some more farms, which I probably should have these closer to there. Wasn't thinking. Now problems for Future Brave to figure out. So that needs to be moved. These should probably go over here so we can make more parts. We should probably even make this into a vehicle assembly location, because right now the rubber needs to come down, but then the copper needs to come down south. So right now the closest thing is the silver, or it's the rubber, but the copper is quite far away. Also, why could I not see copper anymore? Oh, 379. I'm just blind. So we should maybe even move these up here so that we can just grab the copper, and then the rubber over here can keep working away. And it also looks like we're not producing enough rubber because we don't have a surplus. Oh, actually we do. We still have a 194, but we might want to redesign this so we have even more surplus so we don't run out and wonder what happened. Crude oil. Yeah, that one's fine. This can be deleted. We don't need that no more. And this is going to keep working away. That's good. And then is my boat back? Yes, my boat is back. Heavy oil, please. Don't depart. Oh, crap. I meant to hit that button. Okay, so that should be getting filled up with heavy oil. And then he might depart right away. If he does, whoops. But anyways, we can just see how that works. We should get all of our vehicle assembly stuff up north. Copper will then be closer, which we could do copper storage over here as well, so it doesn't have to travel as far once it gets here. And then, yeah, we can do all that fun stuff. Let's unpause that construction so they get built, and then maybe we'll shuffle this over. But for right now, I think it is just fine. Our trucks are very, very busy. Busy bees. But yeah. And is this stuck full? No, it is still dumping, which is good. And I'll keep dumping away. All right. So let's hopefully this can get done quickly. That is over there now. Great. Hopefully this can get done quickly so that we can build our distillery. And then maybe we have to move these burners. Probably going to have to move these burners. Probably can move them over here. Just get them out of the way. We'll need to build more food location, even though this is going up now. We'll need to find a place to store more food because we want to be able to make more crops. And I don't want to experiment with these four. I want to have a different four when we do wheat and vegetables. So that is going to be the near plan. And we also need to do trees. So we do need to get a lot of this land. Probably the land that's here, because this is going to be taking away that reserve quickly. But we can't do anything right now. But we should move like even the concrete. Because what does this use again? Coal, limestone to make cement. And it uses water, which we do have a water thing up here. So we could move all of this up in this location. Then the only thing that would really have to travel would be my limestone. But this would get it out of the way. So we can do 1, 2 farms. And then eventually we can do 3, 4. So I might move this, which I know it's going to be a pain because all these are massively full. But it's going to be the way that it needs to be. I like how he parks here. What a G. You read me, you wonderful G. Okay. Let's build this because it's bugging my OCD. And then that'll be built. That'll be good and wonderful. So yeah, we should move some stuff up here. So it has a location to be built. And I want to see how much does it cost for the barriers. Barrier straight, it costs 1 concrete. So now we have reasons for all this massive amounts of concrete we have. So I'm going to, that would be 1, that would be 2. So we do need to expand this by 1 more. We'll do something like that. And then this could actually be a road that they'll utilize, and we can make them forced to be on it. It's like this guy, he is using all of it, and it's lovely. And he's going to cut down on my maintenance costs, so maybe I don't need to get another maintenance depot, which is great. But let's look to at least move my mechanical constructors up here because they only use iron. And then maybe we'll bring the other one up as well. So that we can have maybe less maintenance required to get mechanical parts around. So let's put that at least here for the assemblers. And let's get building it. Yeah, we have got this big old addition going up. So what this is pretty much doing is I'm still utilizing vehicles, obviously. I just don't have the means to not use big or my vehicles. So what's going to happen is what I'm doing is obviously the iron is being manufactured and produced here. So that is going to be an easy just drive over here and drop them into iron. Now, I have so much storage going on for wood, and it seems like I always get backed up that these things just sit. Then I want to make wood storage here so that all the trucks have to do is grab it from here, drive it here, and drop it off. And then as well, with me using all my concrete, we are running low on concrete slabs now because I use them all to build all of this. Then I want more concrete slabs to be stored here. So again, what's going to happen is that they can just drive it over here and it can just be done with. Now, alternatively, it would be nice if it just could automatically just do it itself, but I never set it up that way, and I can't be bothered for a starting setup to use that much resources to build it when I have trucks that kind of sit idle half the time. So yeah, we're going to do that where they still have to do some of the manual labor tasks, but significantly far less than what they normally were doing. And yeah, so this will be built out there. And then what we should do from there is these are behind it, which is fine because the trucks will just grab it and bring it around into there. But we could take them from here and push them here. in the near future, because then this would just be extra storage for iron when we inevitably expand our iron production expansion thingy-mabob to have more iron storage. So this is kind of the setup. This is what it's going to kind of look like. This is what it's going to kind of do. So now we just got to get everything built, and that is going to make all of my vehicles very, very busy, but it's for the... I can't spit that out. It's for the... It's for progress that they're going to be busy. So we're going to build that out there. That is going to be kind of that process getting underway. We did a lot so far, and we're going to get this built up, and then we're going to need to keep tackling distilling because it's not really being built fast. So what we should do is we should move these so these are out of the way, and then I could put my distilling kind of around through here. It looks like we are missing... It's partially stuck because it has rock. Rock is full, which is fine. It'll just sit and just be idle. Okay, so yeah, that's going to build up. Then we're going to build our distilling over here. And they're continuously... Well, they're not flattening that now. We're flattening this now. But that is good. And we do need to tell them once we have the wood storages built that they no longer need to do that. And then we also need to dismantle a little bit of these. Because they will be now over here being built. So we don't need the 4 of them over here. And then slowly I want to move everything from here over there. So I'm going to tell these ones, once these are built, all of them, to stay empty. Because then eventually we can just get rid of these. So I'm going to say keep empty. As now they will send all of this good wood over to here to be processed once this one's built. Yeah, I'm going to need a little bit of unity to get that one going. Alright, so that's going to be built like that. And now we actually, because these are here, we don't need to use our barriers because now they're naturally just going to flow around through here. But eventually we will need to use them just because it's not a perfect science. It's only a partially perfect science. But at least now they're going to use less maintenance because they're on these roads. That means that this is going to last a lot longer for me and I don't have to worry about it. And then eventually maybe we'll make a vehicle thingy-mabob somewhere else. And we need to build our bigger concrete plant because I need to have more concrete now, more concrete slabs to be stored. So they'll have to go somewhere either over here or over here. We got to figure out somewhere for our maintenance to go and our concrete to go because they're kind of in the way and I want them out of the way. So yeah, once this is done, we'll get this out of here. All of this is going to go to a different location, all these mining towers and everything like that. Because I just need more space and I'm kind of running out in the starting location. Oh, and it looks like we have made ourselves up the ramp, but that's not accessible. Okay, can they drive up here? Yes, they can make their way up here. So he's going to finish what he's doing. They'll be able to get up there, and then we are going to need... Actually, they're already able to get up there right now. Please go back to giving me sand. I need more sand. All right, that's going to do that. I am going to try something new, so you need to let me know in the comments below. I did a lot more cut jumps. I've been playing for a lot longer than I've been recording. But what I wanted to try out and see if it's something that is beneficial to the channel is more highly jumped edited videos where you don't see the full me building everything, but you see kind of like the finalized plan of like, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is kind of the end product of what we're kind of going for. So if you like this type of form of content, please let me know in the description below with a comment saying love it. And if you hate it, tell me, I hate it, Brave. Go back to the old ways where I could see you build every single thing. Even though it may be sometimes your OCD would get in the way of fast progress, it was still better than the jump cut. So you got to let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that does it for this episode of Captain of Industry, where we've seemed to have made a lot of progress this episode, a lot more than I feel in other episodes. So yeah, let me know in the comments below how you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that like button and to subscribe for more Captain of Industry content. Anyways, my name is Brave. I had fun this episode. I hope you did too. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.